Opinion, there's not one way to mic a piano. This is just one way of doing it that works pretty well. It's not the best mono cohesive, but it ends up being like a nice kind of wide stereo. I mean, it really is like a move and test and move and test. I balance the attack on the hammers versus the resonance of the bridge and the strings. I just put my head in and move it around and try to find the sweet spot for the piano. If you get too close to the lid of the piano, then you start to hear the reflection off it. I think that when you incorporate vocals, it's really important to have a tight pattern. Choosing, selecting, placing, pairing with preamps, compressors, whatever it might be, based on the end product that you're seeking to achieve. One microphone is picking up the low end with where the strings cross here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the other microphone is picking up the high end. And we're just ballparking placement right now, and then Ben will play a piece, and then we'll listen and adjust. Can you do that same thing, but with your hand, your right hand up an octave? And then I just stuck my head in and noticed that it sounds more cohesive on the high end, just a little bit further this way, so I pushed the microphone over this way.
What are you listening for there when you?
Just a clear representation of all the frequencies that are up on the upper register of the piano. And it has to do with like the bridge and the acoustic properties of the piano and the way that it's resonating. Where I'm trying to get the clarity without a ton of boxiness or muddiness. And also trying to figure out the best place to divide it over the low range to the high range. So I'm just kind of listening for a good place where I feel like the sonic balance is good to my ear, and then I try and put the microphone there. Cool. Is that good? That's great. Thank you very much. Go ahead and just talk in your mic for me.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Perfect, thank you. So we're using it's AKG 414 XL2, and those require phantom power before you can actively switch the polar pattern. So now that we have phantom power on, we have to go back down and make sure that our vocal microphone is in the appropriate polar pattern. It's a big mistake that some people make, diving into sessions and not knowing that you can't set it manually. And the bleed on the vocal microphone is pretty negligible, definitely workable. I put it in a hypercardioid pattern, so it's really tight. And then we can listen in mono if we want to see whether or not our microphones are adding up in not a great way. Piano microphones are in phase. We can actually zoom in on Pro Tools and look at that as well as soon as we're done. And I like to group these mics so that we can adjust them as sets. So I'll group these as close mics, and then I'll group the rooms. Awesome. Let's do something with some vocals. As you can see here that our microphones are out of phase.
What is it that you're looking for to see if they're out of phase?
We're looking for a waveform that's the exact opposite. So we'll look for a transient waveform, something like these notes maybe, and one will go up when the other goes down. I don't know, it doesn't look too bad. We can just check that very easily after the fact by inverting the mic's polarity and seeing whether or not we get more addition and subtraction. Again, it's pretty negligible bleed there, but we could always check, like, it doesn't take much time to go down there and change it from hypercardioid to cardioid. Hypercardioid does have the little pickup lobe in the back, which is facing the piano, but it's also a much tighter pattern. So I think that being the case, it'd be also less susceptible to bleed.
As far as the piano mic placement, like if we were to go down and try to reposition them, is there a way you could manually check that while we're doing that?
Yeah, what I would do, and what I neglected to do with Ben, is I'll usually have them play like a middle C, and I'll adjust the level on both microphones to be identical for middle C. So you just place a note, and just make sure my both low and high microphones are getting the same input level. That way it's a good representation of the stereo image. And then we also have a more pure transient waveform that we can look at to see if it's in phase. Ben, if you could, can you just play middle C for us, please? Thank you very much. One sec. Yeah, that would be great. Let's hear middle C one more time. I'm just making some technical adjustments. And again, please. One more time. Okay, 1 second. So you can see, like, right here it goes up when it should go down, type of thing. So I'm going to invert the polarity on this microphone. It's a nice piano sound. The low end, I think, could be a little bit more solid than it is.
What would you do to adjust it to make it that way? Perhaps.
I would move the low microphone into a different place. And just because I'm obsessive compulsive, I would go down there and listen after doing a take on cardioid on his vocal mic to see if it made the bleed less or more. I was going to be filmed. So I showed up and my hair's all messy and I'm wearing all these horrible clothes. Anyway.